Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to another week in the life of running our dealership, NG Supercars.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan, and we are at my dealership, NG Supercars, and it's going to be another typical week in running the dealership. We got lots of stuff to do, lots of stuff going on, and I got a couple stories I want to tell you guys right off the bat. Let's jump into it, but before we do, real quick, if you could do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe this video. We do appreciate your guys' support, and you can go to ngsupercars.com, our dealership website, and of course, normalguysupercar.com. That's where we sell parts and services, including conversions. So we do manual conversions on the F1 transmissions for the Ferrari 360 and 430. So if you're interested in getting one of those, send us an email, sales@normalguysupercar.com. Okay, so let's start off with what's the status of everything going on. So we're working on a 360 major service. So we bought this 360. It was due for a major service, so we did the timing belts. We got that done. We found that the valve cover gasket was leaking a lot. So we're gonna do the valve cover gaskets. So engine mounts are in awful shape, so replacing those too. So we're gonna do a little bit of stuff, get this thing cleaned up, and so it's ready to sell. Right next to me is my first Ferrari that I ever bought. So I sold this to a friend of mine, Frankie. He sold it back to me just recently. We need to do a few things to this thing as well, so I'll go over it during this next week. We'll get it so it's running a little bit better, maybe clean up a few things, and then it's ready to go. Now, we do already have a few people interested in it, so by the time this video comes out, it's entirely possible that the car is already sold, and I'm going to apologize for that. This Ferrari F8 was on consignment. It is sold. Got a Porsche SUV, the Cayenne. Well, it got cleaned up. We got it. The paint was in not so great condition. It's in a little bit better condition. It's actually got a PPF on the quarter panels and on the front bumper, but for some reason not on the hood. 120,000 miles on it. It will be listed for sale soon. We gotta get some pictures of it. Josh is going to buy the 355 out of the dealership, so we were going to sell it, but it ended up developing some fluid leaks, 3 fluid leaks. So one of those cases where the car had probably not been driven enough, and then you drive it and it starts leaking everything. That's just how that goes. So drive your cars and you have less maintenance. Josh's car is fixed and should be going out the door, I believe, today or tomorrow. So we just did a final shakedown run on it yesterday. Everything's working great. Got the Jag. Moving on. The Testarossa. We need to do a little bit of stuff to the Testarossa. Oh, why is it unplugged? Oh, you know what we need to do? We need to fix the starter, and then we need to do a major service on it. Not looking forward to the major. The starter is actually pretty easy fix. Got the 458 in the corner. Well, in the sort of corner. That is already sold. We're just waiting for a few more parts to arrive, and then we're gonna do a ton of work on that car. And then the 488 in the corner, we're actually gonna be sending out the turbos to get rebuilt better than factory. That should be happening very soon. We are actually a Pure Turbos dealer now. We're gonna send those out to Pure Turbos, and they're gonna rebuild them. That should be a pretty cool project. We're gonna be starting on that probably this week, so we'll show you that in another video. Okay, let me sit down because we got some stuff to talk about. This one's gonna be, yeah, I wanna sit down for this one. Oh boy, YouTube. Okay, so we've got some drama that's going on that I need to talk about. It's not unexpected, given that we're doing service work now. I was very resistant to do service work on Ferraris because I was very, very afraid of dealing with the customers. I know from experience, having seen how some customers are, that they can be challenging individuals. High demands, unusual expectations, all that sort of stuff. Well, we try our best running our service side of the business to do everything we can to try and make people pleased. Sometimes certain people are just never going to be pleased, and one of the lessons we're learning from this situation is listen to your gut. We've had 2 customers in particular over the years that I can very explicitly remember, and when we first got in touch with them and everything started, you know, the ball was rolling to make some business happen, we just felt really uncomfortable. This deal is gonna go bad for us. I can just feel it, right? You can just feel it in your gut. You're like, man, I don't know. The first one we're not gonna talk about because that was years ago. The second one happened recently. The story kind of goes like this. We got a customer who wanted to do a conversion. They had a 360 and they were actually taking advantage of our Black Friday sale. So we did a Black Friday sale on conversions. So they got the conversion for $2,000 off. Okay, everything so far seems so good. When it came time to pay, they took forever to pay. It was really strange. Like, they had difficulty sending the money and this and that. Anyway, they finally did pay, but it took like 2 weeks, which, okay, whatever. So by the time they pay, it's It's getting really close to Christmas. They're like, oh, I want this car before Christmas if possible. And so that was only going to give us about a week by the time we get the car, which I said, you know, it's possible we'll get the car done in a week. It typically takes 1 to 2 weeks. But their interpretation of that was, we're going to have it done in a week. It'll be done before Christmas. Even though I never promised any dates. We never promised dates because we just don't know. The car gets shipped out to us. They arrange their own shipping. We're not dealing with the shipping. They, you know, even though we asked if they wanted help shipping, they didn't want to have our help shipping. The car arrives and it's the worst 360 we've ever seen. Running on 4 cylinders, it's got low compression in half the cylinders. There's wires that are literally unplugged. There's rust, biggest rat's nest of wiring in the battery compartment. All this wonky crap done to this car. Like it's not good. So it comes off the truck. It's running awful. So we call the guy. You know, we take some video of the car. Here it is running.
Hit it.
So as you can see, it's running really poorly. Like it's sounding like this thing's about to blow up. Like we don't even want to let the engine run very long because we're scared that it's going to break. So we call the guy and he's like, oh, yeah. It recently overheated and some other shop did a bunch of work to it. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, you know, you did disclose this to us. And we're like, well, we need to do some diagnosis on the engine because I don't think you want us to do a conversion. Like this thing's engine is about to blow up. And he's like, okay, well, do the diagnosis, but I still want the conversion, you know, even if the engine can't run. I'm like, well, if it's not running, we can't finish the conversion. Like the car has to be driving for us to be able to finish the conversion. And he was fine with that. Okay, so we do some diagnosis, we figure out the low compression, we let him know, hey, half the cylinders have low compression, like your engine needs to be rebuilt. Whatever the shop did when it overheated, they either didn't do something right, or I don't know, maybe the heads are warped. There's a lot of things going on here. So here's where it was a little bit tricky is we were full and he wanted it done really fast. So we work with Makina Motorworks frequently and they've done a lot of the conversions for us in-house. So we'll actually have their mechanic come out and do the conversion here in our shop. Well, our shop was full, so we sent the car to Makina to get done because we're trying to accommodate the short time frame. That was impossible because the car ended up needing a bunch of parts. The holidays kicked in, people were gone for the holidays. A bunch of us ended up getting the flu. So it took like 3 weeks or so. He didn't get it until January, even though he sent it to us in December. So, you know, it was a little bit frustrating, and I understand that he was disappointed with the time frame. There's not a whole lot we can do about it. When you send us a car that needs parts and stuff that we weren't expecting and we don't have the parts in stock, we have to order them. And when you order parts over the holidays, you probably aren't getting them in a reasonable time frame. So after that, everything's done. The car got adjusted as best as it could. They really couldn't drive the car again. We were so scared that this thing was going to blow up. We just did not want to drive it. Like we didn't want that liability. And we let him know that we weren't going to be able to complete the conversion. He sends the shipper, like I call him telling him it's done. And he sends the shipper, and they're there like an hour later. Didn't have time to really clean up the car, didn't really have time to do anything like that. Their shipper shows up, and the car's still at Makina because they finished up there. They go to start the car, and the starter's dead. Don't know what happened. It was running hours ago, it stopped running. Okay, so they basically do like the hot wire trick. on the starter to get it running, put it on the trailer, and off it goes. So the customer gets the car and he's mad because it's not running, and he accuses us, Machina, of using an air gun on the starter and broke the starter, wants us to pay for the starter, and then he accuses us of not putting the bottom panels back on the car even though it arrived without the bottom panels. And then he says that it was never adjusted correctly because the drive shaft was touching the shift boot of the shift cable. Okay, what are we supposed to do here? Like, your starter broke probably because the car is 20-something years old. Things like this happen. You know, at first I kind of took a more defensive position, and, you know, maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I should just eaten that cost right up the front. But the problem with that is when people send us cars that are in bad shape, at what point do you draw the line for what is just stuff that's breaking because the car is in bad shape versus stuff that is breaking because it's our fault? I'm standing strong on, I do not think that Machina intentionally broke the starter or over torqued it or anything like that. I think the starter was just old and it just gave out because it's 20-something-year-old Ferrari parts. That can happen. He ends up going online and trashing us yesterday, which was my birthday. Happy birthday! Here's a bunch of negativity. And so he tells his story very much from his perspective, not discussing anything about the fact that his car was awful, that it needed tons of work, and that we did lots of extra stuff for the car for free. In fact, I forgot to charge him for a battery, so he got a free battery. If we have to work out something where we're paying for the starter, fine, but I'm going to deduct the cost of the battery because we did actually do that and never billed him. It's hard because how do you know, when the car came in, it was so bad that we initially did not want to do the work on it. And I think that's going to be our position in the future, is if someone sells us a car and it's just awful, we're going to let them know that we refuse to work on this car. It is not in condition to do a conversion. The problem is people send cars to get converted when they're basket cases. And their expectation is that we're going to fix everything. And that's not what we're being paid to do. We're being paid to do a conversion. And in fact, that was very explicitly in the contract that we have with this customer, saying that we're just doing the conversion. We're not supposed to fix things like the starter. We're not supposed to fix things like the wiring. We're not supposed to fix things like a bunch of disconnected cables and all this extraneous stuff that made it take longer and take more time and cost us money. Anyway, we do the best we can. And the side effect of this is, as soon as he posted this online, everyone's like, oh, the YouTubers, they don't know what they're doing, and oh, they're not real mechanics and all this stuff. And yeah, it's like, it's kind of funny because it's like, YouTube's a pretty small percentage of the stuff that we do. We do a lot of stuff, and you guys only get to see a little bit of it. Like, you've seen maybe a half hour to an hour of what we do in a week. I also find it really funny that everyone's like, oh, they're not mechanics and stuff, and they act like being a mechanic is being a rocket scientist. I mean, I'm sorry, like, I have a bachelor's degree in computer science and a mathematics degree, and being a mechanic's not that hard. It's pretty simple stuff. Designing parts is hard. Putting the parts in and out, not that hard. And also, yes, I don't have a mechanics training or whatever certification. I have taken mechanics classes on how to rebuild engines. I have taken mechanics classes on how to do a lot of stuff on cars. First started off in mechanical engineering school, so I took some mechanical engineering classes. Granted, I did not get a degree in mechanical engineering. I'm not trying to say I did. I'm a pretty smart guy, and we've been doing this for a long time. I've been full-time at this for about 5 years. I think I'm pretty good at this now. I can do a lot of stuff on these cars, and I'm pretty confident in it. It's strange. The hate that comes at you on the internet is strange. Anyway, that's my story. I know I hate starting off with negativity in this video, but it is what it is. That's how it is. Anyway, we're going to do some editing. I got to do editing today. It's Thursday, which means the Thursday Night Live is tonight at 8 p.m. Central, so we'd appreciate if you guys join us. Yeah, I need to sit down and edit a lot. Lots of editing. So you can see this in other videos. Taking a quick break from editing is officially bye-bye time for Josh's 430. That is the lowest car I think we've ever had to get loaded, so it's gonna be a challenge. Other than editing, I really didn't get to do a whole lot today, so we didn't really wrench on the 360, but Alan did clean all the carpets, and well, the end result is absolutely phenomenal. It looks like a brand new car. And all of these carpets also got all the subwoofer, little panels, and of course the rear panel. All just tremendous. We actually had a set of black floor mats for 360 that were spares, and we think we're gonna swap them out because the tan kind of just looks wonky. So tomorrow we'll continue wrenching on the 360, continuing the major service. Well, that's it for today. So join us on the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Central. We'll see you guys there, and we'll have a lot of fun. And see you tomorrow. There goes the F8. Bye-bye, F8.
He's gonna love that car. He's never driven a Ferrari before.
Oh, man. Yeah, he's gonna have a good old time. The guy flew in, and he's driving it back. That's how you buy a Ferrari. Well, it's Friday. We're starting off the day with that was cool, getting that thing sold. Nice guy, and he's driving it back. We love to hear that. Gotta work on the 360 today. Gotta get pictures of that Porsche. I drove in the GT40 because it's Friday, and why not? It's already dirty, so you know, might as well like leave it dirty for a few days. It looks proper race car when it's all dirty. I mean, look at this. This is like race car shit, where it's like got mud splats all up the side and stuff. Oh yeah. I just got an email from one of our conversion clients. There's apparently like a small oil leak or something. We gotta fix that, so we're gonna try and figure out what's going on there. Shoot. Yeah, it is what it is. Oh, and got quite a few emails been answering this morning. It's already busy on the computer. I was thinking about we could get your 355 on the lift.
That's why I have the doors open.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
I'll just wait for him to get back.
Oh, okay. Josh is one step ahead of me. Because might as well get started on pulling the engine out.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrench on that. We got the gaskets in, so we're all set to do a bunch of stuff on that and get it taken care of. So that's kind of the main thing of the day. And emails and phone calls. Yay. It's never a bad day when you get to hear a 355. Have you noticed how long the secondary air runs on this thing?
It takes forever.
It runs for like 3 minutes. Yeah, gotta have the sound. Taking on a big boy major, engine out service.
What?
I said taking on a big boy major.
Yeah. I'm excited to learn it.
Yeah, it's not that hard, it's just a lot of stuff.
It's my own car, so if I screw it up, it's...
Yep. Well, we're looking around and there's a lot of oil leaks. This is very much a 355. There's oil leaks at the back of the transmission, both sides of the valve covers. It looks like one of the rear cam seals, and it looks like maybe even the front main seal.
And coolant.
And coolant's leaking somewhere too.
I think the coolant is what's caused all this shit. I mean, that's that...
Is it coolant?
No, that's that shit they put on at the factory.
Oh, okay, okay.
But see, the coolant's right here.
Oh, yep, there's coolant.
So that's why it's all wet right here.
Okay, yeah. It's hard to see, but the side of the block is completely drenched. Over here, there's oil leaks right here in the bottom of the transmission, and then over here on the back. Oh yeah, the cam seal looks pretty dry over here, but the valve cover
looks like the valve cover to me.
Yeah, I think it's valve cover.
Can't tell where the coolant's coming from. I'm guessing the water pump.
Son of a bitch. Well, definitely engine needs to come out either way you dice it. That's the only way to get to all that stuff. Oh, I looked right at that light.
Oh shit. It's a bright one.
That light is super bright. On the plus side, our parts for the 360 are in, so we can finish up that major service. Yeah. Got a lot of wrenching to go on right now. We're gonna have to install that second lift pretty soon.
Yeah.
We're gonna need it.
Just let it crank 3 times. Go for it. Okay.
Oh. Okay. Near 180.
180.
Okay, that worked.
That worked. I just gotta press really hard. Let me try this back one. All right.
Let it rip. All right, so I thought you guys would find this interesting. So this is my old first car, and it's got 76,000 miles in it. And everyone's always freaking out, oh my God, high mile Ferraris. So we just did a compression test on it because it does have high miles, and we have someone who wants to buy it, and they asked us if we would, you know, just kind of check it over. And frankly, we just were like curious. Every single cylinder is within 10 PSI of each other. Compression is perfect. Awesome. That's really cool. Like 76,000 miles. perfectly fine. All right, YouTube, that's it for this week. Keep showing you another week in the life of running our dealerships. Getting closer on the Ferrari 360 major service. Have the intake almost ready to come off. Then we can do the heat exchanger and then the valve covers. Josh started his major on the 355, and we did a little work on my old 430. We replaced the spark plugs because it's just kind of got like a rough idle. It runs really smoothly under higher RPM, but at idle it's just feeling really off. It's not misfiring because we don't have to check engine lights or anything like that, but just feels rough. We checked the compression. Compression's great. I don't think it's an ignition coil, because if it was an ignition coil, I feel like those tend to either work or not work, and you just kind of get a failure, and then you get like a misfire in a cylinder. So we're thinking maybe like a fuel injector might be plugged, or maybe the PCV's kind of gummed up the MAF sensor setting. So we'll check the MAFs, clean them, throttle bodies, that sort of stuff. Hopefully we'll get it running a little bit smoother and better. But next week I'm flying up to Utah on Tuesday, but before then we'll wrench on that guy and maybe we could get a little bit further. So we'll see you guys on Monday.
Eventually.
Good morning, YouTube. So it's Saturday, and I came in because a friend of ours is consigning 2 vehicles with us. Actually, to be more accurate, they were going to consign 2 vehicles with us, and then they got here and they ended up deciding to trade one of their vehicles for our Porsche Cayenne. So the Cayenne is gone, it's sold. But I gotta show you the 2 vehicles we got because they're very interesting, and we'll do full reviews of them because they're so cool. Oh yeah, and I drove in the GT40 because it's a perfect day outside. So let me show you the first one, and then we'll step outside for the second one. First one is a 1996 or 7, I think it's 6, Toyota Land Cruiser that was imported from Japan. It is a diesel, and it's right-hand drive, and it's in phenomenal condition. It's got 140 something thousand 147,000 kilometers. So yes, it's in kilometers an hour. This thing's awesome. Look at everything's in Japanese. All the labels and stuff, Japanese. It's just super good condition. Look at the seats. It's so awesome. I love it. And it's been restored already, so it's actually in really good condition. It's kind of got like a real rugged, you know, it's got like the rugged tires on it and stuff. This thing's just badass. It starts right up. I mean, it just, oh yeah, sturdy. So yeah, like I said, we'll do a full review of this thing in a little bit. But the vehicle that I'm more excited about, which was traded to us, so this is actually our vehicle now. Yeah, it is a 1997 Toyota Coaster bus. Oh yeah, baby, we got us a bus.
I'll turn this damn bus around. That'll end your precious little field trip pretty damn quick, huh?
Hell yes. Look at this thing. Look at manual transmission, right-hand drive. Look at it still has the doilies. All of them. All the doilies are still in place. Dude, this thing's epic. I can't. It holds like 20 something people. Look, it's got like, it says like not for hire in Japanese or something like that. Maybe it says private bus. Look, you can fit a whole army in here. This is so badass. Oh yeah, I feel like I need to take this and drive this home and go for, we need to drive this thing around. It's so funny. Oh my God, this thing's a riot. Look at all the vents in the ceiling and everything. Oh my God, so cool. And it's an electronic door. Well, we'll do a review of this thing soon. I don't know how we're gonna sell it. I guess maybe we'll probably sell it on Cars and Bids or something, because I have no idea really much about that thing. But anyway, it's Saturday, so I'm gonna go home and enjoy the rest of my day, but we'll see you guys on Monday, and we'll do some reviews of those things. Good morning, YouTube. It's Monday. So what do we have going on today? Well, we gotta try and get as far as we can on the 360 because I will not be here tomorrow. I have to fly up to Utah. We're checking out a 430 that we want to buy for the dealership, so hopefully that car is good and we can get it. The pictures look pretty solid and the guy seems pretty legit, so we'll see. But where we're at is we gotta get the intake manifold off, the heat exchanger out, the valve covers off, and then put everything back together. Oh, and then engine mounts as well. But it's coming along, so that's good. You may have remembered, if you've been watching for a few of these day in the life videos that are my friend Scott, he's got a 360 and the rear main seal went out on his car, and we were trying to get the car out here. I was gonna go pick it up, but I didn't want to go pick it up without having to pick up another car, because honestly it's just not worth it for me to drive 18 to 20 hours one way to go pick up his car and then 18 to 20 hours back. So you're talking like 3 days of driving just for one car. It's not worth it. So unfortunately I haven't found anything near him. So he lives in the southeastern Florida area. There's just not a lot of good cars out there right now, period, anywhere. It's tough. It's slim pickings. Well, I should say there's not a lot of good Ferraris out there right now. It's slim pickings out there. But anyway, if I can somehow find a car in the next, I don't know, few days, maybe I'll do that in next week or something. But honestly, at this point, we have so many things going on that I kind of don't want to anyway, because, well, we got major service, Testarossa needs a major service, 48 needs turbos, that 458 needs a bunch of parts as soon as the parts come in. This thing needs a bunch of work. I mean, basically every single car here needs work. Literally, yeah. Holy crap. Actually, correction, the Toyota Land Cruiser doesn't need shit. That sounds about right. And our newly acquired bus doesn't need shit either. Okay, my Jeep is finally working, but it does need some videos. We need to get that thing listed for sale so I can get rid of it. It needs to just go away. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. If you can find anyone that wants to buy that thing, I'll give you $1,000 if they buy it. In fact, if you guys can find a good Ferrari that we buy, I'll give you $1,000. But here's the thing, if it's listed on anything public like Facebook Marketplace, Auto Trader, Car Gurus, you know, that sort of stuff, we already know about it, so I'm not gonna give you $1,000. It's only like if it's something that's off market or something like that. Basically, we scan all of those things almost every day for cars. All right, well, that's the plan for the day. Starting off with a bunch of computer stuff, so I gotta sit down. You guys remember that gray 430 Spider that we did a conversion on, and it needed a ton of other stuff. We sent it to the owner, and it starts having an oil leak, of course. So we're shipping it back here and fixing the oil leak, and he said there's a few other minor things just to kind of check out, like a exhaust rattle and stuff, which it is a 430 exhaust rattle on 430, so we'll see if it's something that we can fix. But anyway, I wanted to kind of mention that because earlier in this video I was talking about a bad client experience that we had with someone else on a conversion versus this client experience has been really good. Like, he's been very patient, and I understand that he's probably frustrated that he had his car gone for a month or so, he gets it back and then it gets an oil leak. But he's been patient and willing to work with us, and that's the difference between like a good client and a bad client, in my opinion. It's like, these are mechanical things, stuff goes wrong, we're human. I don't know if we screwed up on something or if something else broke or whatever. I just don't know yet because I can't tell until the car's here. But he was just like, hey, there's an oil leak, what do we do? And so he sent pictures. So I said, yep, there's an oil leak. We'll pay to have the car transported back here and take a look at it. So obviously, as of this point, there's no cost to him. If it's something else that broke, then there might be a cost to him. But if it's something that we did wrong, or if, I don't know, a seal that we put in failed, or who knows, right? There's 1,000 things that could cause an oil leak on these cars. Probably something that we're gonna just have to eat the cost of, but because he's being nice and cooperative and working with us and not getting mad and not going online and publicly bashing us, I don't mind dealing with that and eating crow. You know, we're gonna probably lose another, I don't know, $1,500 on this just because the shipping is, you know, about $500 each way, and then who knows how many parts, and then plus we're gonna have to, you know, lose probably a day of labor just trying to figure out what's wrong with it. It's expensive, but we gotta do what we gotta do. All right, well, let's answer emails, then get wrenching on this guy. And oh God, geez, another thing I gotta do this week, I gotta review the bus and that Toyota, so the Land Cruiser. We gotta get those things reviewed. Probably need to review, or at least make videos of the Jeep as well, because we're gonna pretty much send it to Cars and Bids. Totally forgot to mention my old 430. I think we've had about 20 people ask to buy it already. I really wanted to keep it and then drive it to like 100,000 miles, but my Jeep hasn't sold yet, so I don't have the money for that, because I don't want to put more money into this whole thing than I already have. Honestly, it's just kind of like, all right, well, if people want it that bad, maybe I should just sell it. We do have a pending deal on it, 15 backups. So if you were seeing the videos on it and you're like, man, I kind of want to get it, it's pretty much too late. We need to do a few things to clean it up and go from there. but it's pretty much going to be sold at this point. Sorry for any of you that wanted it. Whew. All right, it's 11:30 and I'm just now getting caught up on all the phone calls, emails, and all that stuff. Although I just took a phone call you guys aren't going to believe. It sucks, but at the same time, it's hilarious. Dude calls and he's like, hey, did you guys have a 488 that was sold through Mannheim? And I'm like, we just sent one back on arbitration. He's like, yeah, I just bought it. And I'm like, oh, you're the dealer who just bought that car. He's like, yeah, there was a piece of paper on the dashboard or you know, on the seat that said check into arbitration, and it had your phone number. So I called the phone number and I'm like, oh, no kidding. So anyway, we just spent a half hour chatting. It's the 488. If you guys remember, that 488 we bought had a 5.0 CR, 5 out of 5. It was perfect. And every single panel had been repainted. It had missing paint. It smelled like weed. You know, clearly someone had smoked a blunt in there and all this other shit. They sent it to us with 0 gas. It literally ran out of gas when we were unloading it and getting it into the garage. Then a check engine light came on because it ran out of gas and all this shit. So the car was totally a basket case. So we arbitrated it, sent it back. They took it back. Well, as I said in the last video, if you watched that one, they, at the last minute, updated the CR after the auction was basically underway. And the guy got screwed because he saw the original listing, not the updated one that showed the lower CR. So he way overpaid for the thing, didn't know all this stuff was wrong with it. It's bullshit. So he might be stuck holding the bag because they tried to pull a fast one on him and update all this information after the fact. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I feel for the guy. Like, I tell you what, man, this pretty much confirms that we really can't buy cars at auction unless we see them first, because they are straight up scamming people. I mean, this was criminal what they did. I hope the guy gets it straightened out, man, and I hope they take it back, because it's bullshit that he is gonna be stuck holding the bag on this thing. Really sucks. All right, well, let's wrench on the 360. finally get my day actually going. All right, YouTube, the day flew by and it's already after 5:30, so I'm gonna head home. I gotta get ready to go to Utah tomorrow to go look at this 430 that we're gonna try and buy, and hopefully all that goes well and we get it. 360 is making a lot of progress, so once I get back, I should have that hopefully buttoned up on Wednesday. We shall see. But anyway, we'll see you bright and early tomorrow, and we'll be flying to Utah.
The next day.
Good morning, YouTube. It's Tuesday, and I am in a rental car in Salt Lake City, Utah. Why am I in a rental car in Salt Lake City, Utah? Because we are here to check out a Ferrari F430 and hopefully buy it. So if it's as good as the person says, then we're gonna make a deal, and I'm at the bank, so we're just gonna transfer the money right then and there, and then it's our car. So I'm just waiting for him to get here. It's boring sitting here, Salt Lake City. Not sure what else to do other than sit, but well, eventually we will make a deal, hopefully. And then I can fly back home. It's a turn and burns. Had to get up super early, had to be at the airport at about 6. Not my favorite thing. But if everything goes right, I should be home by like 11. Not terrible.
2 hours later.
All right, heading back to the airport. Success, bought the 430. Only thing that was unexpected were the fuel pumps were leaking fuel bad. Like, so bad I was like, oh, be careful driving it home, don't drive it hard. I put the camera in there and the top of the fuel pumps were like saturated in fuel. Guess we're doing fuel pumps on that 430 for sure, so that sucks. But anyway, we're heading back to the airport. I'm gonna just sit there and, I don't know, eat a sandwich and wait, because I got like 4 hours until my flight, which sucks. The only thing that sucks about turn and burns is like you don't have enough time to really do anything fun. It's not like I could like go find some interesting thing to do. I only have like 2 hours until I need to be at the airport.
Tomorrow.
Good morning, YouTube. It's Wednesday, so that means it's auction day. Although admittedly, as you've seen in the last few videos, we're not super enthusiastic about buying cars from auctions, so probably not buying anything, but certainly we at least gotta watch, because you never know, every once in a while a gem will pop up. But it seems to be lately all we're doing is getting screwed every time at the auction. Other than that, we also need to film a bunch of the cars, take a picture of the bunch of the cars, and get them listed. I need to get the Jeep sent to Cars and Bids, because I don't really have any offers, so I think that's the best place for that thing to go. Need to keep wrenching on the 360, gotta make some more progress. And I gotta show you the car we just got in on consignment, because yeah, she dirty. More on this soon. So hang tight. So something that happens a lot when you're a YouTuber is you get unsolicited feedback. Usually it's criticisms or complaints or whatever. If you start off a video with like, oh, I watch all your videos, love the channel, but, stop at the but. Don't care. I generally don't care. There's very few times that people have given us unsolicited feedback that we think it's helpful, so all it does is make us mad. Don't, please. How would you like it if every day at your job someone told you how to do your job better? Every day, multiple times a day. You'd probably get tired of it. We get tired of it. So I kind of wanted to address what I was just talking about with the criticism we received. So we got an email from someone who was criticizing that we didn't degree in the timing. As far as degreeing in, there's a lot of stuff out there about degreeing in the cams on the Ferrari engines. It's all over the place. What our kind of operating theory is on this point is, yes, you can degree it in, and yes, you might pick up a tiny bit of performance, but the vast majority of these cars, I feel like, are within the factory spec or within range of the factory. So what we're doing is what the factory manual says, and if it's good enough for the Ferrari manual, I think it's good enough for us. If you want to send your car to someone who degrees it in and gets it that extra precision that maybe corrects the cams 1 or 2 degrees, that's cool. Pay someone to do that. I don't want to do that because it takes an awful lot of extra time. It adds an element of risk, and it just doesn't seem necessary for a car that's no longer really performance relevant. Let's be real about this. These cars are old. They aren't fast. Getting the cam to be 1 or 2 degrees perfect isn't going to make you so that you're like, wow, I feel that extra power. No, you don't. You don't. So anyway, that's kind of our thinking on that. Take it for what it is. If you don't like the way we're doing our service, then don't send your cars here or don't buy our cars. It's simple. But if you want to send your cars to a place that does do all that extra stuff, you're going to pay for that. It's probably much more expensive. So if you remember, we were discussing in the last video about how we were watching the auction prices to see if they were going to be going up and over the kind of recent averages. Well, this week they are absolutely above the averages in almost all the cases. So most of the cars we're seeing are going up, which suggests that car prices are going up. Also, just anecdotally, we've seen some of the big car companies like Carvana buying tons of cars. I think they're stocking up on inventory because they know prices are coming up. So they're trying to buy them now and then sit on them for a little bit as the prices kind of go up. So hate to say it, but it looks like everything's getting more expensive in the used car market. Okay, so we had to move the 360 off the lift because the 430 that we converted recently and did a ton of work to, the silver or gray one, the gray Spider, is coming back. It has an oil leak. We wanted to get it on the lift and try and fix it as quickly as possible. It takes precedence over this car, so we shoved this guy off the lift. I want to show you this car. We just got this in. It's a consignment car, and okay, so the story is it got a major 7 years ago, and it only got driven about 400 miles since the major, and basically hasn't been driven at all in 3 years.
No,
so
it's more than 3 years.
More than 3 years?
It's 7 years.
Was it 7 years?
Yeah.
It sat for 7 years?
According to the paperwork, that's what I've deduced, like figured from the paperwork.
Oh God. So basically,
it sat for 7 years.
It's sat. So we're trying to go over everything this car needs, and it's a lot. So the paint is oxidized. The tires are all like from 2012 or something. So all brand new tires that have sat for forever. The bigger problem is like the fuel lines started weeping. So did some of the oil lines. So pretty much all the rubber lines need to be replaced. Obviously the timing belts and stuff, oil change. The brake fluid has gelled. It's actually like got gel in the brake master cylinder. So it needs a lot of work. So we need to call the guy who owns it and talk to him and see what he wants to do about it. So I guess I'm gonna do that. Like, it actually does start in sort of runs, but like the fuel in it's gotta be all gelled up and nasty. Basically the whole fuel system needs to be flushed. Oh dude, the rear of the headrest, see it? It's all like cracked and dry rotted.
Oh yeah.
And discolored.
We'll have to replace those too.
Jeez. Yeah, I thought this car was in better shape than what it was when it arrived, so it's a problem.
It could definitely be a nice car again.
Yes. Oh yeah, it's only got 10,000 miles, and it is an original manual.
Probably need to find a set of factory wheels for it. On a car with this low mileage,
Yeah, factory wheels
maybe
are.
those wheels are a total turn off.
Yeah, if we could get some like challenge wheels for it.
Yeah, that would be great.
Well, we'll figure out this. Oh, it's got a Fuchs exhaust. So anyway, yeah, we got a lot of stuff to figure out with that car. Josh just bid on a salvage car.
I think it's time.
There's a salvage 488 on Copart that we're bidding on. We'll see if we get it. I don't know. I think it's gonna go for way more than we want to pay for it, but
Probably, but it's worth a shot.
it's worth a shot.
Show 'em.
It's got front end damage. It's not the worst.
I think we can fix it.
Yeah,
I think we can fix it. I found a hood on eBay.
it needs hood, bumper.
Likely a bumper. This looks like maybe it's salvageable, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wires and shit hanging everywhere. New headlights. There's no dash lights on, which is surprising, other than the warning light for the headlights.
Oh, weird. It didn't pop the airbags.
The airbags didn't pop, it looks like. So it looks like maybe like it hit something
dipped,
and
yeah,
kind
like it
of
hit like a semi or something.
it like went under something, like a truck or something like that. It's got the passenger display. It's got the cool two-tone race seats.
Well,
It'd be pretty cool.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Well, interruption for the day. The gray 430 is back. Like I said, it's got an oil leak, so we're gonna pop off the bottom panel and see where it's leaking. I'm gonna place a bet that it's my fault.
I think it's the oil tank.
Yeah, the little
piece.
that circular piece.
Yeah.
We put goop on it. Maybe I didn't put enough goop on it. I mean, that thing leaks on like half these 430s anyway, and it was leaking to begin with, and we cleaned it up as best we could and reinstalled it, put a new O-ring on it, but I'm willing to bet that's what it is.
I'm hoping that's what it is, because that's.
I'm not, because then we gotta pull out all the oil. Is that oil? Nope.
Oh, I see some oil right there. Yeah, it looks like it might be that piece.
The transmission.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick this down there just real quick.
That thing is so handy.
Everybody needs a test long.
You can test long. Don't burn yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, found the oil leak. It's the seal, the input shaft seal for the shift box is leaking. Damn it. So I guess we're gonna have to get Makina to get us a new input shaft seal on that thing. Crap. Okay, got good progress on the 430. Toyota is getting cleaned up. We've got the 430 here. We figured out what was up with that. Hooray, it wasn't my fault. I thought for sure it was gonna be my fault. I thought for sure it was gonna be that little oil seal on the bottom of the 430, because that thing leaks a lot on a, it's pretty common. But it's just the stupid seal that is for the input shaft on the outer shift box. Talking to Makina, and unfortunately it's a kind of like a scraper seal, and if they aren't just perfect, they can leak. So it's either like one of those where they either leak or they don't. And this one leaked, and unfortunately kind of really can't test it until it's heated up and under pressure and all that stuff. So it is what it is. Anyway, we'll get that fixed. So that car will be done hopefully quickly, because they did say they have some seals available, so they're probably just going to swap out the entire shift box, and hopefully we'll have the 360 done in the next day or two. So hooray. That's it for today, so we'll see you guys tomorrow, and then I'm going to be editing videos. Yay.
Tomorrow.
Good morning, YouTube. It is Thursday, which means it's the end of this week's video of running our dealership. Hopefully you guys enjoy these videos. This series has been, you guys have been saying you like it a lot, so I'm gonna keep doing it. So stay tuned for another week in the life of running our dealership. They'll be out every Saturday. And of course, since it's Thursday, we have our Thursday Night Live tonight at 8 p.m. Central. So join us, talk about stuff, ask questions, have a good time. Usually it's pretty fun. And we'll see you guys next week. So like, share, and subscribe, hit the notification bell, visit normalguysupercar.com, use the code NGS10, hooks you up with 10% off. And of course, visit our dealership, NG Supercars. Although admittedly, the dealership website is pretty slim pickings right now because we don't have a lot of the cars up on the website. So I apologize. And part of it's the cars we've been getting have been selling really quickly. This will be up on the website soon. The bus will be up on there soon. As soon as we have this done, it'll be up there. And the 430, well, we gotta get that thing running a little better, and I think we already have a deal on it. So, all right, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned. It's gonna be sweet.